In a few hours, we'll be receiving our budget year 2026-7, and therefore, we're looking to budget the funding gaps in the Uganda's cities. Gearing up for the national budget parliament, this will be is actually in trillions of shillings in financial year. The figures lies are growing. Uganda's cities needed to drive the economic growth and improve people that are leaders. Kampala itself, economic nerve centers continue to grapple with congestion, management problems such as Mbale, Gulu. You do have Arua, are equally facing urban populations grow. So as the country, what we are asking ourselves, and on our At NTV, are Uganda funded to transform to survive? Now to conversation, we are being leaders in the cities. We do have Honorable who has recently been as the State Minister for, but also serves the people, Member of Parliament. She's joining us to give and city perspective on public side and government priorities growing cities. Equally joined by Shamim, Executive Secretary at this is with the Kampala. She's also Chancellor for Kawempe. It's Kawempe South, but she's now seeing financial plan Kampala capital city, utilization of that funding, insights into Kampalities and development to allow my guestations and then the order of with the Honorable Minister.
Good morning, and good morning to the panelists and the councillor from Camp Authority, Mbale City. We are happy to listen to this, and again, I'm one member of Mbale City. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning, my fellow panelists. Shamim Nambasa, the appointed secretary for Kampala Capital City Committee, but people of Kawempe South, Councillor. I'm very glad. I look forward to positive.
All right, I'm going to start with you to the nitty-gritties this morning. We want to, with the recent disagreement and NEMA have been happening that are in the where does this matter stand? We learning as
well. Thank you, Priscilla, and by sympathizing with Kawala division, but then my constituents as well. People all over Kampala whose homes have. Fast forward, as far as 2024, this particular demolition, they started to have break down people's homes. The reason it was because Environment Act, or we are a strict Environment Sources Committee. Our committee is meant on the activities. It is meant to before they actually. So in 2020, during this particular, because that committee was, so the request was all the demolition committee established and 24, and the committee has still, and NEMA is going ahead to. So question one, since 2020-2026 that there are now elections. But then all these particular committees of the people, because district chairperson is the Lord Mayor, members of Parliament, the experiment, as the town clerk, this committee is session. And for some of, for example, it is why set 3, and in fact it is considered to be. So we are forward vanquished. We're being done in Akawa. So these areas that we know are back into it like vanquished. People have been living. But then also we are questioning which the activities are. When you look at the demolition Luigi, they left office there. We have seen left a big hotel. So it's like it's not like a particular group. They're also questioning that. Or initially, when they were constructing the Northern Nakamido, these they're talking about parishes, and when to construct them, they called people that lived in those same areas that they have without any sort, and it was they broke down houses, million plus, belong to people, and could offer was a way for people to go and get what, looking at where are they. So among the actions that we have, we engaged for most of us, we came out, NEMA did, and in that particular meant to form the other committee, and this committee had petitions on be handled. So as of now, the demolitions in Kampala particular engagements.
The issue in Kampala City, I'm sure Mbale City and other cities across the country. In the case of challenges, what are some across Mbale City?
10 new cities to Kampala City to enhance urban centers. It's one of the budget of the city. It is still the budget, but infrastructure, everything a master plan according to the plan, because there was also geographies of rural areas to start the city infrastructure. We already had a World Bank funded proof on the roads issues, the big waste management that Kampala I don't know how far they've so had the tragedy, remember. So we look beyond pits, and we can use the new technology management, even the salt management. We never got it because even the possession of the waste management issue. So if you don't manage health matter, it's a public problem because we lost in areas like Chitez. There are issues, which and then we fall out of quality because whatever we do, we look. So also many towns outside, they've been able to roads network manage. They've done but also most on security lighting. Security is a if you have dark corners, you have a problem in the network with of insecurity. So public parking, sport, different terminals. You have the bus, you have the taxis. Is a big issue with issues of crime. People are supposed to be at what can create for crime. You know, people spaces like for villages. There are also terminals. So those areas to offer public transport is these are some of the even Uganda. The construction of new including in Bali is recently. It's a big structures, different like in Wandegia, Soroti, all these markets. It's a big issue also. Markets, there are, and the stores are to access to buy produce or to buy, but also the low earners who are the. So the politics of the issue. You may think the small bulk of Uganda, those markets is also working for. My eye there look the majority of the women, whether there's food, whether it's employment, people go to the markets and pick a livelihood from the urban areas are women. There are many because when there are people in the vendors for security, must provide for lighting, provide for cool rooms, therefore the 24/7 it goes bad. Fresh food, fish, and then there are those who there must be clean sanitation for because when someone is older they have to eat. Mini restaurant everywhere, whether it's in the market and then where there are like saloons, cities or urban areas of many things. So that is where the center government administration offices are the people. That's why even and look for
as we are paying taxes, you know, the regional development.
About they call the administration and trade urban areas.
Okay, all have made mention of the livelihood of people living. So then, in tandem, good enabling environments to the national core taxes that are paid to money out of these people. We want to focus on the authorities' budget that around 900 billion shillings. Yet arguing that even this in the last financial year enough for the be met effect. It's a question, Shamim. People are struggling continuous steps, even when it is biggest contributor to the coffers economically.
Yes, and I what you've said because, for example, the in Uganda, over of Uganda comes from a metropolitan area. When we collected taxes, about 75 to 80 from Kampala metropolitan, one would think that contributors of this actually be given priority. What is unfortunate is that may not know whatever goes back to the consulate is controlled by the president and he is charged with are actually distributed. Thus, of course, it is a question why priority when you're collecting, when you look at the country, and we do have the can, and you know, from that particular budget was discovered to fix to fix the welfare to fix the hospital election issues and on an annual basis, receiving I think about 7 actually reduced from here to what is going to be. So it means that where all these monies from the people on an annual basis, the government and ways to collect whatever amount of money that the people in Kampala. What has been done? That being the tributers, you look at we have a road net 100 kilometers, 150 kilometers. You look at our garbage, we have over 2,000 a daily basis, but trucks to collect this garbage. Look at the drainage system. Seeing what happened, people's shops were subject, had people losing big. We are not even that is not even environment to engineers to be able to work the people. When you look at housing, for example, and we don't even have policy. Uganda, we have of 2.4 million housing. In Kampala specifically, 100,000 housing units. Have a policy on that, and worse, they have continuous homes. When we look, our hospitals it has 8 health serving at 4 times supposed to be serving. It's not even, I think currently reading the CC of May 2020, our hospitals that are only 40. So when you look at budgets that we are actually allocated, justification to have allocated to Kampala of will for be able to make Kampala.
Okay, how can the would be to focus on that there is continuities, especially with as we will be read tomorrow. We take a return to have strategy on how we can cities accordingly. With the CA Director Julius Muku, we continue the conversation, the budget that is the next year of holders authority, and the other also are going to a part of that have been placed with it, and how they intend to proper, but also to create for the livelihood level on an economic education scale and so the scales of measurement, which brings the conversation with the ladies that I had. That is Honorable Lydia Wadamim Nava. We look at the conference this morning. Uganda do how our cities are including giving the more responsibility around revenue, money, giving them some support.
That every state must have plan, fund what you have not planned for. From the master plan, then priorities that are long term, but short term, but There's that one, financial year, maintenance and construction. I come from a town where you cannot count the bridges have been washed out. There's the issue of imagine in the city where we live. Where you may find that wake up in the city.
That's very true. Because
roadworks have been is important. Drawing priority is important. So, billion, 84 trillion. Go down and look at this. Most of it's already done. It's very, if you do not go in, you're going to have a because if then you have no business being done. This is where to KCC. So important. You draw small, but also mind what you have.
So be the priorities for financial year, because the fund, that's the money, but priorities will.
And it's unfortunate coming to office when so much that we can do about already that is going to be and advocate for, because you find that our budget 2 trillion HR for an entire around 700 billion of the money is meant to collect. We are outsourcing, we are doing all this. You find that the budget depends on coming into fund. Fortunate, but among the priority on our infrastructure, we are talking about drainage need for us to replan, because as it is now, it will come for internally this. But we need to work on image. I know that KCC that is meant to be used, but for some of it being used. But then also think, how do we manage, because it has become in this particular city, among the engagements that we're trying to make partnerships that can recycle this to be able to reuse it, more important things that can be. But then also it's important, for example, tiered, kind of the technical wing and political wing, and doing the most that we can do it and oversight of the implement the technical wing. So wing, to be honest, their boss, who is the what has to be done, they are not honest about actually existing.
Okay, all right. Of course, this budget that under a theme of monetized realization, agriculture, among other implement. How should this be speaking into this project? Many ideas are dissatisfied, allocated already.
They call the budget, the budget process is structured, but that when for now, because of sometimes the budget has not met the expectation or the actual collection cash budget. So you can budget for this finance for the Kampala's 2 trillion. What is collected, the 2 trillion. And then you do first priority for obligation and the obligation salary. Might end up meeting the expectation. So then you have to statutory obligation. Added what you think of maintenance, because of waste if you do not mind, especially industry. Don't mind the drainage, the road. If you don't manage, people will die of cholera. So that's connected important. So beyond, if we focus on money, say to get obligations of non-monetary, many people do not work because they're saying but pay the salary, they stay clean. That's the budget. You rooms, but what the vendors, you have for the spirit to be to clean the to manage the garbage, rely on money all the time. That's why I say you find where I come from in. We have trucks, have road unit. Then you say it's a problem on this way, the truck, the road unit here. All this has not yet come.
As we are coming to the we have to do what would be a call to our different stakeholders as far as concerned.
Between and every quarter, because money quarter, but change the minds of. There is a disconnect between the minds of the budget urge to serve. If there is no money, they do.
Dr. Shamim, remarks in your call to maybe that one game that if adopted.
I think short would still be government to be intentional city, consider biggest contributors collected in the country. This is the capital city, look like a capital. Time to go back to the dimensional. We've seen them as to construct a particular, the ones who want to construct in Tinder, they want to go to, they want to be everyone company. So they have these spaces, there is partnerships, but then there is about the kind of have.
Okay, all right, Wanyoto, thank you so much for this table. Thank you so much, all speed with your capacity, your guidance. And it really comes down to what, ladies, between the budget and to support, if that can be improved, and the will to work, we can be aligned. We're in having full of our budget as a nation. 11th of June 20 at NTV. Take right now. We'll of course do expect of the budget reading in Parliament of the Ministry of Finance to make development. I am Daloga coming up.